Hi guys, I just got done watching the documentary The Case Against Eight, which is a documentary about the American Foundation for Equal Rights' successful attempt at overturning Proposition 8, which barred gay couples from getting married in California. And for somebody who's one, a supporter of same-sex marriage, two, a California resident, and three, was extremely late to the party on this issue, this documentary hit me pretty well home. Now, before I describe how it affected me, what I liked about it, I think it's important that I share to you my backstory on that third point. I was actually a freshman in high school when Prop 8 was first suggested, and my school did a pretty good job of actually making it so it wasn't discussed on campus, so I actually couldn't figure out which side was which at the time. I did see like a poster for each side at the campus, but even then it didn't help me that much, and I didn't fully get the issue because that was actually the first time I think in my life that I had heard of gays trying to get married and such. And I did hear that the coast of California voted one way and that the other bits of California voted the other way, but that was pretty much all I heard on the issue. I did hear, I think, at one point that Prop 8 was being challenged, but I was just like, whatever, and I tuned it out because I wasn't really interested in hearing this, and I was still working at finishing high school. Then, in December of 2012, I was working at my current job, and then I happened to catch on the news bit that was being broadcast that Prop 8 was going to the Supreme Court, and for someone who hadn't heard of Prop 8 in like 3 years, I thought, what the heck, are the people who are against gays getting married still pissed that they can't restrict them? What's going on here? Yeah, I hadn't heard at all about this issue and still didn't fully realize that Prop 8 banned gay marriage, but my first thought was, what are the people who are against gay marriage still doing? Didn't Prop 8 rule in favor of gay marriage? Well, I did a little bit of looking up later that day, and I realized that Prop 8 banned gay marriage for the first time, and that was when I first fully started supporting the right to marry, because before that, I've been doing a lot of reading of like fan fictions on fanfiction.net, and a lot of the ones that I was reading happened to support alternate couples in works of media, such as like Harry Potter. Harry doesn't fall in love with Ginny, he falls in love with Hermione. Ron doesn't fall in love with Hermione, he falls in love with Luna. But then there was like other stuff such as like Twilight. Bella doesn't fall in love with Edward, she falls in love with Alice. And I had found that I supported quite a lot of these alternate couples that happened to be gay couples, so I go, you know what, if I support these couples, why don't I support people in real life, you know? So that was when I first got on the bandwagon. Yeah. And I heard about this movie not too long after Prop 8 was fully overturned, and I wanted to see this real bad, but because I don't have the ability to go to the big festivals that have screenings of the movie, I had to wait a long time before I could finally see the movie, but now I have, and I think it's a pretty wonderful movie. It brings many facts of reality home. One, in terms of what gay couples face, but also the American legal system, because like I see a lot of people in what rapidly shrinking political articles that I visit online, that people keep saying like, oh, how long can it be to get through a court case? Just do it already. Well, this movie showed to me that it can actually take quite a long time for a court case to finally get all the way through. I mean, like, not only did it take like roughly 5 years for Prop 8 to be overturned, but it took like a year and a half to get the first district court ruling, and then it took another year and a half to work its way through the Ninth Circuit, although it's a little more complicated than I made it seem with that one sentence, as the movie revealed that. So now I appreciate like all the effort lawyers have to go through all the documents that they have to look at and memorize, and all the efforts like groups like AFO, and I kind of hate to say, yeah, Protect Marriage and NOM go through in order to get people to defend what their organization thinks. Just, wow, I applaud all the people who do stuff like that. Even though, of course, I might not always agree with your actions, but yeah, you're committed to a cause. Good job. But like all the stuff that like the plaintiffs had to go through, like stating that their right to be married has been denied like twice, having to go through several years of court appearances, all the hate mail that they get, and all the people protesting right outside the court buildings with all those signs showing derogatory terms for gays. Just, I applaud you, because like when I get like hate comments, a lot of the times I end up getting depressed, even though I'm getting better at handling the issue. But yeah, it's just another example of how judgmental and hateful humanity can be, and that's a sad thing. But fortunately, one class of, well, not class of people, one group of people or thing at a time, America and various other people in the world are getting better. I mean, like, even though I am reading the dark side of them, if you look back at the founding fathers who, even though they never really say it, end up stating that, like, white people are better, men are better than women, and such. Now we try and say that black and whites can be treated equal. Race doesn't matter in terms of what job you should be able to get, or who you can marry, and gradually to what gender the person is. Just, yeah, this was a huge step forward in achieving that, and shows that not all people are bad, even though, like I said, they were. But think about it. A couple 100 years, we've changed rapidly, and that's impressive. I realize that not too much of this has been about the actual documentary itself, the case against 8, but in a way, it kind of is, because while the fight against 8 was to overturn it, at the same time it was for humanity to heal a big wound and progress one step farther towards accepting everyone as just that, human beings. And yeah, it was a good documentary. There were a couple of times where I got somewhat emotional. I didn't like cry or anything, but like I felt sadness in the right parts. I laughed at others, and I felt that there was true commitment, such as like when Paul and Jeff were talking about which court case was it? I think it was the ruling with Judge Walker, where one of them, I'm sorry, I can't remember which one it is now, stated that they would gladly sacrifice their time and help the other, and that they loved the other more than themselves. Just, yeah, it shows, really, it does. Whoa. Yeah, you can tell that it affected me, because I'm talking with a lot of emotion, it seems, behind my voice, even though I bet my voice hasn't changed at all while I've been making this video, really. But, yeah, so this video's gone on a little longer than I wanted it to, and it hasn't totally been really about the documentary itself, but, yeah. Later. Oh, and if you wonder why I didn't give it a rating, can't you guess?